Good day guys, and welcome to today's tropical update. In today's video we will be talking about the potential for several tropical systems to form in the tropical Atlantic. All of that and more is going to be discussed in today's video, so make sure that you guys stay tuned. So guys, to begin off today's video, we will be running the latest Euro model run, and as I mentioned, we will be talking about the potential for a tropical system to form in the tropical Atlantic. So the first model we're going to be running today is the Euro model, then we're going to review the CMC model. So if we begin to run the Euro model, we do notice that around 196 hours from now, roughly around Tuesday, August 15, 2023, the Euro is showing that we begin to see some pretty strong tropical waves come off the coast of Africa. So as you could see, this is one tropical wave that has exited the coast of Africa, and at that point it would be on August 15, and that's just about 1 or 2 weeks from now. So you know, these waves are going to be exiting the coast of Africa, and most likely it is looking like these waves might develop into something. If we notice, we have a tropical wave just further towards the west of our tropical wave that's about to exit the coast of Africa. If you notice, we have two tropical waves at this point, and both of them pose a threat of development, and there is a chance that these waves could head in the general area of the Lesser Antilles due to a very strong dominating high pressure placed towards its north. So that would initially steer this system towards the Lesser Antilles, and that puts you guys at risk for tropical systems making a landfall in your area. So if you live in the Lesser Antilles, you would need to initially monitor the tropical systems that would be headed in your area later this month. So if you do see, this is around August 15th, so we have enough time to monitor the trends, but as I mentioned, the Euro is showing potential development. And if you notice guys, if we continue to run the model, we do see that eventually these waves develop into tropical systems as we go further out into the forecast. So that just basically means that most likely the conditions are going to be favorable for tropical development and not really hostile as they are at the moment. So if you notice, at this point we do see around August 17th, just 2 days from August 15, we do see that we have our tropical wave, pretty strong tropical wave to mention. I would say it's developing to a tropical system at this point, and we have a tropical depression or storm just off the coast of Africa, placed towards the south of the Cabo Verde Islands. So as I mentioned, if you do notice, these systems are moving towards the islands. So if these continue on this track, most likely this puts the Lesser Antilles at threat for towards the mid ending of this month. So if you do notice, as I mentioned before, we have a pretty strong dominating high pressure. So if this trend continues, then you guys are going to be at risk for a potential landfall later this month. If we take a look at the CMC model now guys, the Euro isn't the only model that's showing potential development. The CMC in fact has 3 tropical systems just in the MDR, just that they're farther north than the Euro has it. The Euro has a weaker high pressure, which generally means that most likely the system will track further towards the north, as the CMC shows that has a weaker high pressure than what the Euro has. The Euro has a stronger high pressure. So basically a stronger high pressure would lead these systems towards the island and prevent them from headed towards the north. So the Euro has a weaker high pressure, so that would have the systems push farther towards the north, avoiding the islands, but not at all, because the high pressure could strengthen over time. So we would need to monitor these waves as they continue to come off the coast of Africa. As a matter of fact, you do see here on the Euro model, we see that these waves have some pretty strong vorticity with them, as I mentioned before. So if these waves do continue to move in the general direction of the islands, eventually you guys would be at threat for potential, you know, landfall later this month. And you know, this just makes the risk higher, because if you notice, you see a more better, clearer picture of the high pressure on this solution. You see a very strong high pressure in the North Atlantic, and that would steer the systems, you know, further towards the south and pushing them towards the islands. So this is not a good setup as we go later into this month, eventually leading into September. So you guys that live in the islands, I'm really not liking the model trends at the moment, because you know, if this, you know, continues, then most likely you guys are going to be at threat for getting a direct landfall, you know, later this month, even running into September. So you know, I'm not liking the trends, so I'll keep you guys updated. And if you don't notice, the coast of Africa, over the coast of Africa, we do see some pretty strong tropical waves that are about to exit the coast of Africa, and these are what we are expecting potential development for the future of. So you know, most likely if these trends continue, we could see something form out of these future waves that are about to exit the coast of Africa. You know, we're just a couple of days away from August 15th, so you guys that live in the islands, you know, I would want you to continue to keep updated with the forecasts that, you know, are released by any weather forecaster that you watch. I know some of them would take the advantage to clickbait you guys and say that, oh, a hurricane is headed towards the area. No, that's not the case. I'm just saying that most likely these waves will develop into something, and these waves could head towards you guys' general direction. So if you take a look at the latest sea surface temperature map, we could see that, you know, sea surface temperatures throughout the North Atlantic are above average for this time of the year, and you know, it's very, very warm. So if we were to have a tropical system, you know, exit the coast of Africa at pretty strong tropical waves to note, most likely it will develop into something, because you know, we would not have much shear nor dry air to limit any development. So you know, the conditions are in these tropical systems favor to develop, especially if you know the system head towards the Lesser Antilles. If you do notice, water temperatures, sea surface temperatures to mention, are ranging somewhere between 30 and 32 degrees Celsius, especially in the Gulf of Mexico also. So we would need to monitor these waves as they continue to come off the coast of Africa, because it is looking likely that some of these waves, as we get later into this month, could develop into something. So that's it for today's forecast, guys, and thank you for watching.